my second one this week. As a matter of fact, it's pretty good because I'm not feeling good. Well, I'm feeling better this week, but my eyes, I've had some kind of allergy stuff going on. But, anyways, I had to do this video because every Friday morning we do a Clubhouse. If you haven't seen that app, it's pretty cool. It's a social media type app where basically you host an event and there's a stage, people talk and you listen. There's no video and really no graphics or nothing. It's just people talking and sharing insights. And every Friday, 8 a.m. Central. So figure out your time zone, how that falls in for you. But 6 a.m. on the West Coast. But we do a all things used cars hosted by David Long and a bunch of other industry experts. And he's done a great job. It's been over a year. We've done it and it's been fun. And I bring this topic up based on our conversations there and some of the headlines and stuff I share. Because I've had this feedback before. Man, you're nothing but negative. Why are you sharing all this negative stuff all the time? And so, I wanted to talk about, and then in the Clubhouse, we had Jonathan Smoke, who's a great economist with Cox Automotive. He brings great insight every quarter to that meeting. David Ellis, also from Cox, brings in great insight every week, pretty much. John Ellis on the Clubhouse there also. And so they're very, their outlook on the situation. And I know, David Long's outlook and stuff are very optimistic. I mean, David Long has the pandemic of positivity and stuff, and I get it. The mindset, obviously, we need to be optimistic on things. And so I even thought about this a long time ago. Bad headlines or bad news, no matter what situation in your life, family, health, whatever, work, economy, things like that, those bad news, you got choices on how you're going to handle it. I try to teach that to the kids. Sometimes a lot of bad things happen to people because it actually, in hindsight, when you look back, kind of needed to happen to position that person in life. Side note is we'll watch America's Got Talent, and you hear about this kid who got, who got made fun of his whole youth. When he grew up, people made fun of him, and he even, considered committing suicide, which is a very sad situation and surrounding and news and headlines. But the good thing is the kid was a little bit more optimistic, picked up the saxophone and got the golden buzzer. And if he didn't go through those situations in his life, that bad news and that all the things that happened to him when he picked up the saxophone to then be up on the stage to get the golden buzzer, the kid was wonderful. My point being, the bad surroundings, the bad situation, the bad news, these bad headlines, especially when it comes to work or inventory management, I want dealers to be aware of this situation. You don't want to get blindsided with certain information. And again, I'll tell you, being on the retail end, 8 years, being on the vendor end, 15 plus years, I know it seems like, and I brought this up in our last meeting, a lot of times when we're dealing with dealerships and managers, and because we're I say we, because I'm in the same mindset, a personality, I perform better under pressure. Sometimes I procrastinate on purpose. So I got one day to get it done, and I know my adrenaline pumps in, and I can perform better under pressure. And a lot of car people are that way, and type personalities, and we like the pressure, we want the stress, and we're going to overcome. And that's the thing is, we sometimes, as dealerships and managers of those dealerships, will wait until they feel the pain to react. And that's their way to, and if you wait to feel the pain, and I know this from tracking data for a decade, if you wait to feel the pain, you're 30 to 45 days behind the 8 ball. And so I think there's painful days coming ahead based on all the trends. And if we want to check out my profile, if you want to have a meeting and I could go over all these things that I see as a trending pattern, we knew this spring wasn't going to be that strong. I was talking about it in October, November, December of last year, telling guys to start cleaning up their inventory while it's slow and getting tight, because a lot of times in those slower November, December months, we just throw our hands up and go, hey, tax season's around the corner, let's hold tight. No, get tight and clean. We knew based on the trending data that this spring tax season wasn't going to be as strong. And again, the data I'm looking at this year is not going to be any better from here on out, and is going to get tough. And I'll show you the data if I'm wrong. But this bad news doesn't mean you can't be optimistic. You can't take your teams and rally them around and say, hey, guys, people are going to be buying cars, and they're going to be buying them from us because we're going to be proactive through this approach. And we're not going to put just because it's bad news or I'm in a bad situation, I'm not going to put my head between my knees and go sit in the corner, for the next month and hope the storm passes, right? So just because there's bad news, there's bad headlines, you got to be aware of what could be coming around the corner. Because here's the worst case scenario of all this bad news and things I'm saying. Hey guys, tighten up the ship because it's going to get bad between now and December. And I'm telling you that is the worst case scenario. You go into if it doesn't happen, you're going into a better situation and economy wise with a better positioning of your inventory and your processes. Okay. I'm telling you to tighten up your processes. Don't let cars bleed through. Get back to an agent policy and get back to the disciplines prior to COVID that you used to have, because you can't be sloppy like you have the last 2 years. Tighten up the ship. Be optimistic. Encourage the team. Keep buying to your sale rate. I'm not telling you dump cars, lay off people, and the sky is falling. Here's what's coming around the corner. Okay. And if I'm wrong, you've positioned yourself better in a better economy. If I'm right, you're positioning yourself better going into a bad economy. The worst case scenario, you're getting better with your disciplines, how you're handling your inventory, how you're handling your processes. And you always want to do that, especially take advantage of it now before the slow seasons come. So when it is slower, you're maximizing every opportunity. Your inventory is clean and you're not sitting on a bunch of aged cars because it's right around the corner. Think about it. August is in a week. Okay. Once August hits at summer sales events, guess what happens in August? My dang kids are going back to school in 3 weeks, right? And I say that because now we got to wake up early, got to get them to school, got to get to bed early and all that stuff. We don't get to have that summer fun anymore, right? So kids are going back to school. We're going to be tied up with things. So that's right around the corner. And then as soon as that freaking hits, damn, it's Thanksgiving, and next thing you know, it's Christmas, right? And your inventory, you got to think in 60-day chunks. Whatever you're buying now is going to be aged or 60 days old at the end of August. By then, kids are back, or no, into September, okay? Because right now, if you buy it today, in August, it'll be 30 days old. At the end of September, it's going to be 60 days old rolling into October. So whatever, and so that's what I'm saying. If you wait to September, October and go, man, we got to do something, you're already 60 days behind the 8 ball because it's already slowing down now. So again, if I bring and share bad headlines and layoffs and interest rates are going up and the recession's coming around the corner, it's not for you to boohoo and hide in the corner and again shut down and hope the storm passes you up. It's for you to be optimistic on your approach and how you're handling inventory. Keep buying to your current sale rate, get discipline, tighten up the ships, get the processes in place, handle every lead that you have and maximize them, recycle the current leads you have, again, on sold vehicles that you can put on current cars that are in stock, all those things. So, again, this morning, there is a pretty optimistic view from Jonathan Spoke based on his data. And believe me, he's got way more data and way smarter than me. But I'm looking at, my employees and their reaction to situations. I'm reacting to dealerships and what they're going through, and just kind of in the trenches stuff. And sometimes I see a different lining on it. And my information this morning was a little bit more pessimistic than optimistic, or a little bit more on the bad side than the good side that, Jonathan was talking about. And all I'm doing is prepare, because I'd rather, again, be prepared. If it does happen, I could go in with my collar tight and heading into that storm with my head up, because I took the time and discipline to get ready for it. And again, worst case scenario, it doesn't happen and you're in a great position. All right. Best case scenario, it does happen and you're in a better position to handle it. So again, if I share bad things or bad news or bad headlines, it's not to bring you down and be pessimistic. It's preparing you to be optimistic, get your head up, and get prepared for it. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. Again, it's a little bit of a tip of the fact that, again, anything that you have going through it, bad news, bad economy, bad headlines, bad situations, try to be optimistic, keep your head up through it, and then try to figure out, again, what's the best way to get out of it. If you need, again, want an inventory review, want to see what we could do to help your store, go to lotpop.com. Check out my book, Work the Facts. You can go to workthefacts.com, get it off of Amazon. Again, this is key metrics that you want to be tracking and trending. You don't need our services. These are metrics, used car metrics that, again, are factual, that are happening on your lot. Example, how to track and trend. Are you heavy in 18s? Are you having large pickup trucks? What's the last time it changed price? What's my photo percentages? What's my carry to sale rate by age bucket, and where do they need to be? Things like that you can track and trend yourself. Again, to help prepare for any of this stuff, workthefacts.com. Jason Rice, see you next time.